Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. Welcome back to... I keep every single time I almost say Torchwood Miracle Day.
No, we're not doing that
Welcome back
one.
to a far superior series, Torchwood Children of Earth, Day 4. And... What? My co-stars are eating cheese.
Yeah, just leaning away from the mics with the cheese.
Yeah, that's fine, don't worry. I've ousted you both now, so they know what's going on.
They know now, everybody knows we're eating cheese.
Yes, I thought it would be nice for when we're tackling this very depressing series that there should be some good food.
We got some good cheese.
Out and about. Yeah, so I think I actually didn't do this last episode, although it's fairly obvious seeing as we're doing this like a series run. I am joined by my wonderful co-host.
Oh yeah,
always,
we forgot.
Pete. No, I forgot because I'm a terrible host. And wonderful guest star, but hopefully one day we'll get you on as full-on host.
I think she basically is now.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it depends when you record. You have to record on better days for me.
She's too busy.
That is fair. Right, so we pretty much open this episode with the end of episode 3, with Jack not repeating what he said
His
at the end of episode 3.
Yeah.
It's still awful, but nowhere near as like a packet of Smarties.
Run of the mill.
Yeah. And I think we get a flashback. So you get scene of Jack. It's the same kind of scene of the kids in the bus and Jack driving the bus. Yeah. But I think so he delivers the kids. There's a build on the tick.
Yeah, we finally find out what isn't it means.
Yeah, because it's him asking, "Is it safe?"
Yeah,
it's
safe, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's not. and it's really good because it doesn't American explain it for you. I hate this expression, but it does. It is very true. In a lot of American series, they really spell out something like that for you. But in British series, they kind of like let you figure that out. No one says, "Oh, that's where his tick comes from." You just see it in his eyes, just going, "Oh shit, that's why I do that." Because he's remembering as he goes. I think it's really clever.
Haven't we missed where he's being spoken to from the lady before this? Isn't that right? The episode, beginning of it.
Oh.
And about why was I chosen to do this or something?
Why Jack was chosen? Yeah. Possibly, but I don't think it really matters.
I think it
We'll bounce back to it. It was what I was going to go pretty much straight into. But so on a slight tangent, as we always do, Pete, because interestingly you have clearly some views on this. Have you seen the film Joker?
Yes.
What did you think about their dealing with his condition and things like that? At least in the first film. I haven't seen the second one. I haven't seen the second one. I hear bad things.
But
in terms of how they deal with that, because obviously it's an American production.
To be honest, I think in that I really liked Joker.
Me too.
I thought it was really well done.
You know that I think it's a meme or a GIF where it's like absolute cinema. It was a bit like that for me.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think it was good. I think it was a completely different take on the Joker.
Yeah,
it was so much darker and so much more real.
But in terms of, because they didn't
really explain a lot of what was going on.
No,
there is that is a proper neurological condition that exists. But I quite liked it. Yeah, that they didn't really give much explanation. It's quite I think it is becoming more normal for films to just not explain everything. Yeah, I think it was a more divisive thing where an American show would explain things.
Isn't it that classic kind of critics point show don't tell kind of
mentality? Which I think was a more British led medium in films and TV series and stuff for a while.
But you can see it in their adverts. They replay everything that's just happened in the last section after an advert.
Every
single time, as if like you've forgotten in that 3 minutes that there was an advert.
And there are so many ad breaks, so you get that repeat again and again and again. And I don't know. I think it's quite nice to just be like, really unhelpful. Yeah.
I think like Japanese TV is the complete opposite. Admittedly, I've only really seen things like anime and stuff, but as far as I can remember, there is no like last time on
No, yeah, I think you just have to
Death
remember.
Note or whatever,
Yeah.
you know?
You just have to remember what's going on.
Yeah. So the kids get led off, and then, like you say, Donna, we get the bit where Jack drives up in a Jeep and rendezvous with this lady and a load of other military boys.
Yeah.
And he asked why he was chosen for it, and I can't remember if he poses an answer to that, and she counters it with something else quite damning.
It was awful what she said.
It was
Yeah.
really bad what she said.
I can't remember what he was like, because he says something and she's like, actually, we needed someone.
Does he just say, do you need someone that might, that can't die if this goes wrong?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you need someone who can't die in case this goes wrong?
Actually, we need someone who doesn't
someone who
care.
doesn't care.
Yeah.
Which I know that obviously she means it doesn't care about the kids, but I quite like that it's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't care that he dies at this point. I think he's quite brutal at this point, isn't he? And also that he just doesn't care about the kids, which
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you see that in Utopia, where he's prepared to put himself in life-threatening situations, like where he just grabs those two cables that are clearly sparking and just rams them together like no other person would.
But I think you would, wouldn't you? If you if you couldn't die, I'm sure initially it would be quite scary and exciting.
Yeah.
Then you just be like, oh, fuck, I can. Oh,
I mean, you
get
still
bored of it.
You still feel the pain, so I suppose you probably would avoid it if you could. But it's
I
not
don't
like
know, unless you're going through it sounds really a proper emo phase about it.
no.
Just like, oh yeah, fine. Well, I'll just do everything.
Yeah.
Full on Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Let's see how much. Let's see what I can do. There's
You'd get
pretty
numb
much
to
no
it.
limits, isn't there?
Well,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
find out from this series at least that there's no limits.
Yeah.
'Cause, I think that's something that Yanto kind of explores. He says, don't you think one day your luck's going to run out and you'll stay dead?
Yeah.
Because I suppose even up to this point, he hasn't explored every way that
Yeah, he doesn't know.
he
Yeah.
can be killed.
Yeah.
So I've got in just full on caps. Do you think Jack's redeemable from this? Given
It's difficult for me because I'm not a massive fan of the character or the actor, so
Okay.
I don't know if he is.
Okay, well, I think maybe I've neglected my position in this slightly, where we should give a bit of context as to why this happened in the first place.
Yeah.
So we understand that there is a breakout of Indonesian flu, which is supposedly going to be far worse than the Spanish flu that wiped out. I can't remember what percentage they gave.
5%.
5% of the human race.
Yeah.
And the 456 are prepared to offer an antivirus should they deliver on the 12 children delivery.
I don't know if I am just thinking too much along the lines of the Doctor here, but why did their little lives not matter as much as everybody else's? I just know that obviously the Doctor would do anything he could to make sure that there wasn't that sacrifice. Also, do you trust aliens that are not going to be giving you this for free?
Yeah.
They're trying, if they're saying, oh look, we could save you, but there's a catch.
Yeah.
Surely that's not a species you want to be interfering with.
That's a species that detected a weakness and is now going to exploit it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If there's something that they could do to save you, surely they should just try and save you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm coming at that from a very
Oh, no, I agree.
well, yeah. But I think it's where this is get nice and interesting is that Torchwood is so dark and will allow people to make those decisions, whereas something like Doctor Who, where it's more aimed for kids, more aimed for trying to find the goodness in humanity, whereas this one is just finding the pure shite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I don't know if I'm just coming at it from that angle.
No.
And then if I was in that situation, would I then go, oh, it is only 12 people against 5%
I
of the
suppose
population?
it's whether or not would you feel the same if it was adults or over the children?
Yeah. Or would it feel better, in quotations, either way? Is it better if it's 12 adults that have had a chance to live? Is it better if it's 12 kids?
Because that's a moral point that's explored in one of my favourite Doctor Who episodes, Voyage of the Damned, where our beloved captain wanted initially older sea dogs, people that lived their time, not Alonso boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I suppose that's his angle, that he would be more prepared to sacrifice them than people who still had a whole
Have some life,
life left in them.
which is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of it's great.
None of it's great. You can't choose right.
No.
I don't think you can choose right
No.
in this situation.
I don't think you can.
So I think what we were exploring a little bit in episode 3, I'll touch back in on again. I don't think the 4, 5, 6, well, at least what we get later down the line, I don't think the 4, 5, 6 has the capability of which they're alluding to.
You think they're bluffing?
I think they're bluffing, yeah.
Well, they did have the antivirus.
They
though,
did.
Didn't they?
They did, yes, but compared to what they're prepared to do within these next few episodes, that's very...
But
It's
then
very
they can
different.
take over every child, and how are they doing that? Is it just frequency?
Yeah.
I think
how have they learned to harness that?
Yeah.
I think it is frequency. I don't think it could be like... Well, I suppose within... I don't know if it's this episode, but it's probably in my notes. They do use that frequency to quite deadly effect on one particular individual.
It's
but
this episode.
It is this episode. But I don't know whether they'd be able to do that on a worldwide thing, whether it be more like the Sycorax's kind of blood control thing.
Yeah,
where
I was
it's
just about to
more-
say that about the blood control. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's more just like suggestion, hypnotizing, but you can't hypnotize someone to death. I don't know.
But they can frequent someone to death.
They can, yes, but again, I don't know whether that's singular intention or whether I don't know.
But they're very specific on they needed 12 that first time, but they didn't take 12, did they?
No, they took 11.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they seemed fine with that.
Yep.
But this time they're being very specific on
Do you, yeah.
10%.
numbers.
But then do you think as well, why that specific number, is that how many of them there are?
What, 12?
No, like, the number they've given now,
Oh, 10%.
do you think that's how many individual 4, 5, 6 there are? Do you think they want a child for each of their own species? For each individual?
Maybe.
And maybe at the time, the 12 were like a test subject to see if they did what they wanted them to.
Yeah.
And now they've come back and go, yeah, this works. We want one for everybody.
Maybe.
I don't
Maybe.
know.
But we cut back to Clem having a perfectly reasonable reaction to everything that's happening in this
100%.
very
Yes.
situation. He grabs the gun off of, I think it's on a table or
I
something.
think so, yeah.
And
Which you wouldn't do. Because you know that he is not stable.
Yeah.
Not his fault,
no,
but he is not stable. You would not leave that unattended.
No.
no. And
But yeah.
shoots that beautiful coat.
Shoots that beautiful coat.
I think we do see like a blood splatter come out the back,
Yeah.
so that, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
shoot.
All
Shoots him
that
dead.
time he looked in army surplus.
Yeah, no, that's probably what he's saying. He's like, fuck, man.
That's why Yanto's on the floor cradling him. It's not
Yeah, he's like,
Jack
doesn't
in
care
there.
about
It's not-
Jack. He's like
Oh,
feeling at the back
damn.
for the hole.
I've only got so many of these out back.
How have we gone
Can I sew this?
to this from how deep we were just 2 minutes
Well,
ago?
Pete, if you can sew a musket hole, arguably a far bigger pellet than...
Oh dear.
Oh, yeah, shoots him
Yeah.
very validly
Yeah.
because this man ruined his life.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
because he says, "You've been in every one of my nightmares."
I've
Every
ever
one
had,
of my
yeah.
nightmares. You imagine having that much
God.
fear towards one individual,
yeah.
and you know, in
Sorry, that wasn't me answering.
yeah.
Yeah, I can, yeah, exactly. No.
Unusually, in Jack's defence, it wasn't his decision to take those kids.
No.
No,
But
true.
also, as a tiny little kid,
But
you
it
were
was
gonna
his
pin it on
decision
that
to
one person.
partake
It
in
was his-
said.
Yeah.
and it was also his decision to tell him it was safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he went down the route of you can trust Uncle Jack.
He did say Uncle Jack. Ah!
I think John Hart may actually be a good guy compared to... Although in Big Finish canon, he actually gives the 10% to the 456. So, not great. Now, there's nothing more horrific than whatever Clem's just experienced within these last minutes than what happens immediately after when Jack inevitably resuscitates.
Yeah.
And
Clem.
yeah, of course, would run away because the person that you thought
Yeah.
was mortal, but at least, I mean, obviously there's a lot going through his head because he looks exactly the same, more or less, to
Yeah.
how we saw him 40 years ago.
Yeah,
but,
just with less slick back hair.
yeah,
Yeah.
But to all intents and purposes,
It was the same guy.
yeah. But now to see that he can't die, that's just too much for Clem.
Yeah. Doesn't he? I don't know if he says it right now, but doesn't he say something like, "The man who killed all my friends can't even die himself"?
The man who took me and my friends to die can't
yeah.
die himself. Yeah.
it's somewhere around here.
Fucking.
Well, first of all, he runs off to another part of the warehouse. I think he's like poor Clem. He's like banging his head
against an
the
upturned table or
upturned pallet
something.
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. And Gwen goes and finds him, and then again uses her beautiful kind of people
She's
skills
so good
to
with him.
corral him back.
Brilliant.
Because she's got the gun off him at this point, isn't she? She takes it off him when Jack's still dead.
Yeah, which is
unquote.
because Reese. I mean, he's not being particularly helpful in this moment, but he is reacting off he's seeing. He's like, "Come on, he's dangerous," and things like that. Which obviously you don't say outright to someone holding a gun because they're going to be like, "No, fuck you,
Yeah,
brother."
bang, I'm dead.
Yeah.
But you can really feel the tension. It's beautifully filmed where she reaches over. He's still holding. All he'd have to do is fire, and Gwen's gone as well.
Yeah. But he's lost that drive at that point.
Well,
hasn't he?
yeah,
He's
but
just holding
no
it.
one really knows that for sure. I mean, Gwen's putting a lot of trust in that situation, but everyone else who's onlooking, Reese especially, he's
Yeah. Terrified.
yeah,
Yeah.
understandably so.
Rightly.
So yeah, like you say, he comes back and you get that kind of exchange between him and not really him and Jack, but just saying it outright.
Yeah.
But I think we go back to the 456 because we get a request from the 456, another one, where the 456 asks them to come in.
Oh yeah, because they said before we consider your request, we need to know what you're going to do.
What
with
you're going to
these.
do with the kids.
Yeah, before we
Yeah.
consider even saying yes to you, we need to know what's going down.
Yeah. Come in with
Come
your camera.
Yeah.
With your camera. Fucking awful.
I think we'll cover this because I can't remember if it happens all in the same scene, but we may as well cover it all at once. So we're going to go all the way to what's discovered.
All right.
So all the people file back in. We've got Lois back in.
Got Lewis.
I think. Oh no, we do have. I think we've got a new character because we've got a general now.
Oh, is he rocked up now? Is he with the PM still?
Well, he's not in the room. I don't think he ever goes into the room. The liaison
unit
from
bloke does.
unit does.
Yeah. But that's not happened yet.
No,
has it?
no.
That's later.
No, but I think we do have
We do have big guy.
Sergeant. Now,
Have we
interestingly,
seen him before?
no, but we will see him whenever we record normal Docky Who podcast again because he's one of the ghosts.
He
It's the
is!
same
I
actor.
fucking knew it! I was like, where the fuck have I seen him
Yeah,
from?
he's one of the
Oh,
spooky boys.
he is!
And he's done a load of
Yes.
Big Finish stuff. He was in the series
He's got
Dodger
a
that Donna and I watched.
fantastic voice.
Yeah, that's
I
what he
love
was
his
saying.
voice.
Oh my god.
I love his voice. I've seen him in a few things, and every time I don't even have to look at him, and I know it's
him.
straight away.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's pissed.
Yeah, straight out the
He's-
bat because I think this is he's watching all of this from the room where the PM
Where the
is
PM
and
is,
stuff
yeah.
because we get a little bit of a reveal to everyone at least. I think this is also where we get. So I can't remember. I think it is in this episode. We get a certain other individual in this room who's a reoccurring actor from Docky Who
where we've
way back into the very first series of the reboot era.
Yeah, it's Nicholas Bridge.
Yeah, it is.
Brig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing
Mr. Dalek voice.
something Yates, I think.
Yeah. He played a complete nutter. He's
Yes.
such a twat.
Yeah. I mean, everyone
I
in
looked
this
at him
room.
and I was like, why
fucking
don't I know you?
awful.
That's why. I know why I know.
Oh my god, it's Dalek Khan.
Dalek boy!
Remember when he was wriggling around in his little case? I flew. Yeah, so they all file in and they've suited up one of their soldier boys to go in. Why does he need to still be wearing his helmet? I mean, I suppose it's just extra protection, isn't it? It looks odd inside the
Don't
suit.
know what this bitch is going to drop on his head.
Well, yeah, I suppose. Like, they're-
Don't trust this motherfucker.
Because I mean, it's really poisonous gas, isn't it? So you,
Also that.
Yeah, but a helmet's not gonna.
I don't know. I would have as much protection as I could get. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't go in there. To be
I don't
fair.
think I'd go in there.
I've got somebody else, please.
I don't trust Decker enough. He's the one suiting me up. I don't trust him. No.
He should-
Yeah, but maybe he doesn't know Decker. Remember, Decker's been by himself for however long.
Ever.
It's probably the first time he's met Decker.
It's probably the first time Decker's met other humans.
Yeah. You didn't see the scene where he licked his arm. I wanted to taste you before and after you went into tank.
It's creepy.
Yeah. So I think Bridget wishes him good luck.
Yeah, she does, bless her, doesn't she? Yeah.
I think out of everyone in this situation, Bridget's probably the least fucked individual.
I think she's probably a decent. I think
Because she doesn't make any bad decisions.
I don't think she
as
does
such.
anything bad.
No.
She just does her job,
I think she might be
which
the...
is sometimes an awful thing to say.
Yeah.
When you say they were just following orders. That sounds awful, but
Yeah, but she doesn't really make
just,
any decisions, does
No.
she? She's
just
there.
does as she's asked to do.
Yeah.
and doesn't complain and just does it.
But nothing towards the overall stuff that comes
No,
out
I don't
later.
think
It's
she
more
does.
just stuff for John and...
Yeah.
She's a good.
Yeah. So we get this guy suited up and he goes inside. Beautiful shots as he's like panning around with the camera. This guy is remaining outrageously calm.
The fact that it's not
Yeah.
shivering all over
Right.
the
I mean, you
place.
do get a bit of like heavy breathing and stuff.
Yeah,
but
but
he
he's
still
keeping that
remains.
camera steady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he just lives in a house of bats or something. I don't know. but
Anything you want
He's one
from
of
to get
no.
this guy.
Remember when we were talking about cave diving? He's one of those.
Oh, he's one of those
He's
fuckers.
one of those cave divers.
I don't think I've heard cave diving yet.
No, I think that's in the episode to come out
Oh,
on
it's the
Friday.
new one.
But yeah, we start to slate people that go cave, not just cave diving,
Apologies
but
if
also
anybody's-
aquatic cave diving.
Cave diving.
Okay.
Because you're all monsters.
You're all fucking nuts.
I'm looking forward to that one because that's where all this merch stuff has come
Yeah,
from.
this is where the poo dogs come from. and all that.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's all edited. It's all ready. Right. So he like does a full kind of walk around the front,
Yeah.
and I mean, let's not bat around the bush
Well,
anymore.
we get 3 life signs, don't we?
yes,
Which we're like, what?
because he's
what?
like, oh, it's 3 heads.
3 heads, of
But it's
course.
like, no, one of them's all do with the camera. There's
And then
4,
there's
5,
this
6.
guy that's got this really intermittent heartbeat, really slowed down.
And I think we get a shot over a shiny head towards our camera boy.
Yep, and we think, oh, that's just part of the alien.
It's just a big old arm, but it's not.
It's fucking horrendous.
It's
It is
horrific.
It is one of. It is fantastically done for what it is and for how horrible it is.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
a comfort biscuit.
The comfort biscuit. It's awful. It's
It is.
skeletal. It's waxy.
So
It's horrible.
okay, obviously quite a good prosthetic or actor within a gel suit. So we
I
don't.
assumed it was an
Hopefully we
animatronic.
can. Oh yeah. Okay.
That's what I assumed.
Well, I suppose because it doesn't really do much movement.
It just kind of
No, it
moves its
doesn't.
head and kind of.
There's some
blinks.
blinking there. I hope that we can kind of detach ourselves from what it's trying to depict and just look at the prosthetic as a overall. It's more or less intact, but there's some weird kind of like skeletal stuff going on. In the
Yeah,
lower
he's still
portion.
got his little jumper on though.
Does he?
He's still got his little jumper on.
Oh fuck! I didn't even.
Yeah, it's like got that kind of crosshatchy kind of pattern on it.
Oh,
It's still
shit.
got his little jumper on and his little shirt.
Oh no, that's fucked.
It's
I didn't
fucking
notice
sad.
That bit. I was too focused on the face.
Because he's got
Yeah,
like a little
he's
Vader.
Got a little mask on him and he's
Thing on.
blinking and it's like, oh.
Um,
And then fucking Reese, he says, do you think he can feel that? Do you think he's conscious?
do you think he's conscious?
And I'm like,
Come
oh.
on, race.
It was, I loved it. I thought it was so
You get
heartbreaking.
water coming down the camera, to which Clem's like,
Oh.
what's going on? And it's Lois. She's
She's
crying.
She's crying. It
For
was
some reason,
all
it made
so
me think
beautifully
of
done.
Chocolate
Yes,
Took
yes,
me
yes,
back
yes.
to Top
It looks
Flight.
exactly like that little kid.
Yeah.
What's that kid's name?
Um,
I can't remember.
Oh.
Clarence?
no. I've got it, but it's Clem something.
Hang on.
It's not Clem again.
No, it's not Clem.
Could you imagine if it was?
It was Clem. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Either, yeah, but it's that
Um,
awful kind of blue glazed eyes with that mouth guard on. It's awful.
yeah, it's not a
Oh, yeah,
normalish
'cause it's-
name.
It's not really. It's
It's
sort of the
not
same sort of shape,
dissimilar, yeah.
isn't it?
But it does have because I think in at least the Toclafane you've got like a light up thing, but
Where's
there's
that
still
just
the
gone?
face guard. Crete.
Crete.
That was the kid's name.
Crete.
I hadn't got there yet.
No, that's alright. it was there. But-
Side note, I sent in an audition for Crete.
What?
Yeah, because they had this like thing
Oh
where it was
my
like
God.
we're looking for a young kid to do this thing, and I sent in a little thing with
Pete,
like I read
Pete,
the lines
I
and
need,
stuff.
I need you to do something, and it may be awful of me to ask. Can you give us your best rendition of "This Guys Are Made of Diamonds"?
I didn't do it in the cute little Scottish voice.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would have been incredible.
If you'd done that, that would have been the best drop, like halfway
Yeah, but like,
for a podcast.
I was
run.
What? No, I
I'm
sent
talking
it
about
in my
getting that
little
bastard who
audition.
played Elton on. This is far more important.
But like, I was full nerded out. I was like, I got my mum to film it for me, and I had strategically repositioned my posters in my bedroom so all my Doctor Who ones were showing.
Fuck you, Russell T Davis, for not choosing our main boy
Mistakes
Pete.
were made.
Absolutely outrageous behaviour.
God.
I just want to do a Tocla Fane like Big Finish special one. Now get Pete to do the voice.
Oh no, whenever I rewatch it, I'll think,
Yeah.
I'll pretend it's you.
Maybe we need to re-edit it just so we can splice that in. Here's how it should have been.
Anyway,
Wow, what a reveal!
what I sent in an audition
Yeah,
tape.
That's incredible. Don't know how we can come back from that. So-
Back to the depressing.
Yeah, so the cameraman obviously reacts to this,
Yeah,
and I think everyone else in the room reacts, and the 456 full-on throws a
throws a paddy wagon.
gunge tantrum, and
Yeah, hits our boy in the camera suit.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he gets. I was about to say splooged. I don't want to say that.
He gets
but-
splooged.
Yeah, he gets splooged.
And quite rightly is like, get me the fuck out.
Necessary panic from our boy in the
Yeah.
boiler suit. 'cause-
Yeah, and I do like it when he takes all his stuff off. He kind of checks himself over. He's
Yeah,
like,
he's
Is it on me? Is it on me?
yeah.
he's broken his calm.
But everyone is fucking raging.
Because that's when
Yeah.
our general guy goes, "Is that a child?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're like, oh shit's hit the fan now.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, because then they're like,
'Cause then
well,
they're like,
how have they got a
how have they got a child? And doesn't the 456
It plays
back
back
John
John
Frobage's
Frobage's,
voice
yeah.
saying this was off the record, off the record, off the record.
And you can see the Prime Minister's face like, oh,
Oh,
shit,
shitting
what
fuck.
am I going to
Yeah,
say
and
about this?
also Frobage is doing the same. He's like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, because he's reeling from the fact that they've still got a fucking child attached to them,
Yeah.
and that he's now going to have to deal with the fallout of the fact that
Yeah.
they've done this before.
Yeah.
And I think that is when it's then revealed to our general boy that the transition before and his outrage, quite rightly so.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
was all hidden.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, so I think that's the main.
Is that the
portion of
point
it.
where he's like, I'm taking command now? Because you've shown yourself.
I think that's a bit later.
Is that later?
Because I think there's more outrage that happens, which then leads to that. Because the point where he takes control is when stuff starts to happen with the military and stuff like that. I think.
Yeah.
Don't know.
No, I think you're right.
Oh, but the music. So we are going to touch on this a little bit more. It's the music. It's like the harrowing kind of. The way I've written it, it's almost like a sick melody.
Yeah.
When you see the child and stuff, it's got that whining, droning sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's really well done.
it's
It pulls at every single heartstring that you've got
yeah.
and kills it.
Yeah. Man Torchwood has to come back.
I don't know if I want. I can't.
I don't know if we're going to get the same kind of emotional baggage from, or the same emotional reaction, I should say, from the war between the land and the sea, which I still don't understand. I mean, we've kind of talked about this. I'm guessing you know stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen some of the cast? There's some interesting cast.
Yeah, there's some good
There's some
people.
good-
But apparently they're not
Yeah.
going to be their characters, which I don't understand.
Oh.
So the actor who played Alonzo won't be Alonzo, and the actress who played Martha's sister won't be Martha's sister.
Well, then why are they there?
Well, I don't know.
That's just confusing.
So is it the same? Is it not the same universe then?
It's the same, yeah, but loads of actors play.
Yeah, but not the main, I suppose.
Come on.
Ding, ding, ding.
Shut up, Donna.
The Doctor.
I heard myself. I stopped.
I mean,
Okay.
admittedly, they tried to cover it with Capaldi, but there's no way. I mean, we'll get to that.
We'll
when
get to that.
happens. So they get 1 day to deliver the 10%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is even if they were prepared to do straight off the bat the 10%, that is an outrageous amount of organising that they have
Yeah.
to do.
Imagine trying to get the 10% from Australia.
It takes me like It takes me 3 days to get a case in place. There's no way.
There's no way they're getting that many.
Yeah, and
kids.
to go back to Australia, they're all covered in spiders.
But I mean,
Got to shake the spiders off
have you
first.
ever tried to get a child ready?
Try getting 10% of the fucking earth.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Obviously, the whole thing is a ridiculous request, but then chucking that bit in as well, you're like, okay.
Yay!
Now, this doubles back to what I said in episode 3. We kind of hinted at to what you guys thought, but I'll ask you again. Do you think the 456 is capable of wiping out the human race? Because that's what John Frobisher says. If we refuse, what will you do? And
We'll kill
will-
your species.
We will wipe out your entire species.
I don't know. I genuinely don't, because there's arguments been made against both. Like, because your first thing is like, this might just be one random rogue son of a bitch who's decided he's trying his luck. Because why would you just send one ambassador down?
Yeah, this is the feeling I'm getting from it. That's
Yeah.
why I thought it may have been either that or something from quite close.
Yeah.
This is just one individual who's kind of playing their luck.
Yeah.
Because that's why, you know, the
'Cause
two encounters were so different. You've got a ship coming down in 1965 and then,
Yeah.
you know.
And also, if they've got the ability to teleport down, can't they have multiple of them teleporting to different countries at once? They know how big the Earth is. They know. They understand. Well, you think they'd understand Earth logistics.
I suppose if we are arguing that they are that technologically advanced and they could destroy the Earth, maybe they're just running off of the UK did this, or UK and Scotland did this once before.
Yeah.
So they'll probably do it again. So we'll just home in on the same
Maybe.
peeps, and they have the context of what we did before. So at least then they're maybe more willing or more cooperative, whereas other countries would perhaps not be.
I suppose it's just the doubt, isn't it, of what if they actually can.
I'd like to hope that they could, because then that would kind of at least give some
Semi-justify
gravity to
some
it.
of
Yeah.
the quests.
Yeah,
Because
I'd like to think that they could.
See, but knowing how humans react very impulsively, I almost like to think that they wouldn't, because then it just
it's
shows.
just a big leap of
Yeah.
My faith. PMs.
yeah.
Do we believe that this was eating away at Jack? Jack's obviously lived a long life, because this is what. So
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I'm glad. Wow, I thought there would be more discussion, but no. Yeah.
Because he didn't remember it enough
No.
to. Because at some point, did someone say 456 in front of him before?
No.
All of that? No.
No.
Okay.
No, Decker said it to Frobisher,
Okay.
but that's the only time we heard
I
the
just-
numbers.
He only seemed to be bothered about it after he knew, I'm involved in this.
I think he was, doing his Torchwood best to try and sort out the problem,
Yeah.
but he didn't throw his all into it until he realised he had stakes in this.
Yeah. He just didn't.
I don't know. I don't think it's weighing on him. I think it is
No.
now.
Yes, I do think. Because things
Because I
are a
think-
lot different now.
Yeah, and I think he has grown up.
He's got a family now, even though
Yeah, that's another thing.
that he
I
also
think-
calls him Uncle Jack after they've called him Uncle Jack. It's just weird.
Jack surely
But I
has
don't think
other
he's one of
families
the-
out there, because we've established in Torchwood season 1 with the fairies episode that he's had.
He's a fuckboy.
Well, that's not quite what I was going to say, but there's probably no 1-2 ways about it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because he really loved that lady.
Well,
Yeah.
the old
that's
lady.
even established in fucking Empty Child, Doctor Dances. The doctor literally says to him he's from the period of time where they dance
Yeah.
with anyone and everyone. So it's established from the get-go. The first time we meet this guy is that
Yeah.
he'll do anyone.
I think it's said in the Meet episode in season 2 where Reese is on to Jack and Gwen.
Yeah.
They're talking about some outrageous hinting when Gwen and Jack are walking together, and Gwen asks, within the context of the episode, have you ever tasted alien meat? To which Jack's like, yeah, he seemed to enjoy it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
It's the future and stuff. It happens in Star Trek, so
Yeah, why not?
that doesn't make it okay. But I don't know why I'm using that as my argument. It happens in Star Trek, so it must be fine. being, expansion of humans, it was bound to happen.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, it's not weighing.
No, I don't think he has thought about it. For
We kind of
years.
almost says it justified it because they got the cure.
now hinting at the end of this episode, which unfortunately we're going to have to get to at some point.
I don't want to.
I know.
really don't want to
I
either.
don't want to either. But there is a moment where we'll take a break and hopefully it will make you feel better, Pete. Maybe. I don't know. I have a little something. But,
Okay.
I'm gonna eat more cheese.
yeah, that's fair. Do we think if this didn't happen at the end of the episode, this may have potentially been the split up of Yanto and Jack? Considering what Yanto's just learnt about Jack. Where he says, I barely scraped the surface, haven't I?
I don't know. I think he'd have still
Yeah?
kept going.
I don't think so. Yanto is head over heels with him.
He is.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. It could have been a point where Jack's gone, we can't do this. I can't do this. I'm not good enough for you. Because no one's good enough for Yanto.
No.
Absolutely not.
But I don't think Yanto would have given up very easily.
No, I
he
think
loves
he'd
him.
I think he'd have said, right, now I want to know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now's the time to tell me everything.
Let's sit down and have a 3-day long chat.
But whether or not he could trust Jack, because I think even
I think he
Jack
knows he
says that's it, to which Yanto throws up some kind of disbelief.
I think he knows he can't trust him. But he'll take what he can because
Well,
he
he
loves
says
him.
that's it, and then straight away goes, oh, by the way, I've got a daughter and a grandson.
Yeah, yeah.
So it wasn't that's it.
Oh. See, I didn't think he meant that's it that way.
I thought it was about
was-
like the weird,
I've scraped the
awful shit
surface,
that
haven't
he's
I?
done, as
Yeah,
opposed
that's
to
it.
just stuff in his
That's
life.
it, that's all I've
That's all I've got. All I've got is my surface.
Oh, okay.
I thought
I thought
that's what that meant when he said
Okay.
that's it. He said that's all there is of me. I've just got my surface level. You don't.
And I thought it was,
anything.
that's it, you know everything now.
Oh no. I don't think. So.
I was very wrong. I think you're right.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think it can be interpreted in different ways.
Yeah.
But we get some discussion in, I don't know if it's the cabinet office, our little room with our bunch of bastards. And they propose a number that they wish to kind of haggle. I
Yeah.
think they even say, I can't remember the lady's name, but not
remember her name.
Bridget.
Yeah.
Mousy lady says, "Oh, we're gonna haggle."
Yeah.
And it's weird because this number changes. They say in that room 60 units, but when John Frobisher gets into the room with the 456, I've got it written down here. He says 6,700.
I think
So
they've
what's the
chosen
60 units. What is that?
60 units from the UK.
Ah,
And then-
62.
Yeah, 62
UK,
from
but
the
yeah.
UK, and then all the rest of the nations combined.
okay.
Give some as well.
Yeah.
and they propose that these units should be made out of illegal immigrants and.
Stupid kids.
Well, no,
Doesn't
they
say,
don't,
or is
they
that
don't
later?
do that yet. I
Oh,
think
that's
that
not-
is
yeah,
just
that's
illegal
later.
immigrants. That's a bit later when they don't agree to said
Oh yeah,
proposition.
yeah.
But isn't that number, it's because it's one for every million, or was it?
One
for every-
Oh.
one.
One for every billion people in the UK. Million people in
It
the
must be
UK.
million. I think billions.
Billions is wrong. Billion is
Yeah.
wrong.
There's only 6 or so billion
Yeah.
people on the planet at this point. Because that points in,
Maths.
isn't that a bit of a scary thing? Because in Miracle Day, there's only just under 7 billion people on the planet, and now what are we sitting at, like 8 billion?
Yeah.
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 Anyway,
Let's not talk about real world shit.
yeah, let's
mate.
not do that. Let's talk about Doctor Who and Torchwood. So John Frobisher goes into the room with the 456 and proposes these numbers, to which they're like, "Nah, fuck off, geezer. We're not having it."
Yeah.
I think he just says all of them.
Yeah.
Um,
I was fully
Which
expecting.
panicked me, because I thought that he then meant
All of
every
the kids.
child.
all
Yeah,
the kids,
yeah.
yeah. You're not gonna don't haggle us down. We'll haggle you up.
I was kind of expecting for a show of force here.
What, from the 456?
Yeah. How fucking dare you?
Well, we do get something from the 456. It's not a show of force, but it is a show of protest.
Yes.
Because the 456 go against their original promise to Frobisher that they wouldn't use the kids, and they get all the kids to start saying numbers.
Yep.
Pete, Do you remember the numbers that the kids in the UK are saying?
No.
I'm going to say it without looking down at my notes. It's 325000.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah, boy.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the kids in the world, at least in their respective countries, are saying different numbers.
Yep.
I feel like the news broadcasters get to the conclusion of what these numbers mean outrageously quickly.
I'm assuming by this point you've got thousands of people who are almost keyboard warrioring it and going, "This is what this means. This is what this means." Blah, blah, blah.
Must be. Because it was outrageously fast that they got to.
Yeah.
what it was.
Oh, it must be
Yeah.
the 10%. 10%
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
kids.
But you'll have conspiracy theorists working on things now. You'll have
Because 10% of kids.
Oh, Alex
wasn't
Jones is
released,
out there
was it?
smashing away.
yeah.
No. Oh, no, because he's dead. But his family are continuing on his legacy.
Yeah.
Our weird boy from Rose.
Oh, weird boy from Rose.
His kids.
He's
are
got
out
his
there
website up in the shed
smashing
going,
away.
yeah.
No.
Still got the snow
was
on the
brilliant.
background
He
of
was
his
so
horribly
cute.
designed website.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get some fucked up stuff from Nicholas Briggs
Yes, we do.
because he talks about
Oh, he
the
does.
supposed pluses of
Yeah.
having a reduction
maybe
in
it's okay.
Spin story. This
his words are maybe a reduction in the populace in the long terms could be seen as good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when
He's
that's
just spinning this.
when
now,
that
isn't
gets met with, I'm sorry, what? And it's like, oh no, that's how we can spin it. That's
he? Yeah.
how we can spin it.
That's not how I'm really feeling, I promise.
Yeah. I promise we can just spin it this way.
Now, obviously, I don't want to touch on this too much because it's too real wordy, but I do feel like there were people out there who thought this way about a certain outbreak that we
Yes,
had
yes,
a good
yes,
4
yes.
or so years ago.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
One of those people I do actually know. I won't oust them, but there is a person that I know who does think that way.
Oh, okay.
Now, John, this is when John, I feel like, slowly coming to terms with who the PM really is.
Yes.
Because he's having more private meetings with the PM and he's starting to kind of understand. You can see not tears in his eyes, but the distress.
Yeah. He's like.
And he's not immediately being like, "Yes, sir, this is
Yeah.
great, sir."
Yeah.
There's some hesitancy
going on there.
in
Yeah.
his voice. And this is when they're coming up with a plan of what they're going to do. So, I'm sorry, when I was hesitating, it made it sound like I agreed with the points that were going to be made. It's not at all. The way that it is filmed, it all sounds like fairly, from the people that they are and the way that they clearly think, it's logical the way that they're jumping to these ideas and conclusions and stuff when they're talking about like we should retain the people who are going to staff our hospitals, our factories, but the people who are going to be in the prisons and things like that.
Yeah.
But then she immediately jumps to, but if we can't determine this from the school league table, then what the fuck are they for? It just seems like an odd thing to jump to.
Yeah.
But then, like, just
was-
grasping at straws there to
There
just
was
try
one
and sort
fair
something
one
out.
there because someone there was saying it has to be done fairly, it has to be done randomly.
Oh
And
yeah,
another person
he
was saying-
but he has children because we established he has kids.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
because he's definitely not one who has had kids that are grown up because we know that's Mr. Green, our PM, who I've just remembered the name of, and he has children that would that would fall into this category, but he seems outrageously blasé.
But doesn't he also feel, because that whole table is exempt from,
Yes.
they've got protections.
Yeah, but
The
he
other
doesn't
person-
seem like someone who's jumped to that as such a critical point.
Yeah. But then the other person says, yeah, but if we've already established our children are exempt,
Then
that
random
thing
selection is
falls down
just
straight
dead in the
away.
water,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
which is true. You can't
Yeah.
just be like, oh yeah, it's random. Apart from,
Apart from us.
can't do that.
And our mousy lady starts to try and like take even more because she's like, and what about my brother's kid?
Yeah. And the PM's like, don't fucking push it.
Yeah.
I mean, a fair concern because I don't know how you could ever go up to a family member and be like, this is happening.
My guys are safe. Sorry, yours aren't.
Yeah. Horrific.
Yeah, awful.
So this is where Yanto and Jack are kind of rallying, and they have their moment of like, let's stand up to them, and they leave.
Yeah, because he says something like, the Jack I know wouldn't have just given in. He would have done something about it.
Now, I don't know where this happens in the episode, but I'm going to place it here. We have our daft cunt of the week, or of the day, I suppose, moment, where Mr. Daka walks into his office. Now we have another moment where something like this happens in the next series, and the reaction is perfectly acceptable. It's where I can't remember the name of the blonde lass in the next series, but the one who's friendly with Rex. And she sees that his office is being raided. She stays quiet. She doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
But our Mr. Daka walks into the room. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
Isn't that next episode?
No, I think it might be this one.
I think it's the next episode.
Oh, is it?
Mm.
Oh, shit.
I think, yeah, you've jumped a bit.
We'll get there. That'll explain why it's not in my notes.
Yeah, this is the next episode.
Well, we'll get there.
Oh.
Okay, so the government's come up with a wee story as to how they're going to fly this with the general public, quote unquote. They've come up with
a little bit.
a little bit close to home.
Yeah, a little bit close to home.
There it is.
Do you think everyone who didn't get it was like, I've seen Torchwood?
But an inoculation against...
No, they do say it's to stop them from speaking in unison.
How? What is that? Do you understand what? Like, how could they?
Yeah,
have
but did
spun-
anyone
they
ask
had
for
some-
a breakdown in COVID? How it's going to prevent COVID?
No, but that's
a virus and
thing,
antibodies.
Yeah,
This
but they
is-
might have just spun it that this is a virus and antibodies and stuff. That this is.
How? General public are more stupid than we think if they were going to be cool with
I
that.
mean, people know there's aliens about now by that point. It's like, I'm getting lost.
Yeah, they do.
Do we
Yeah,
know
yeah.
now?
People.
Yes, we do.
seen
Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
we've had the stolen Earth
Yeah.
since.
So,
oh, sorry,
I
before
mean,
then.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot to assume could be something dodgy going on.
Yeah.
That's not a It's not going to be done by an inoculation, honestly.
But also, at that point, what else have they fucking got to go on?
True, but
If there's something you think maybe might help your kids,
You're going to want to
Maybe.
get
Isn't
that.
it weird now, looking back on it, watching it now, knowing what we've had compared
yeah,
to
yeah,
back then?
yeah.
It's very different watching it now.
Yeah. Because there are a lot of people out there, again, not to hover on real world stuff, but there's a lot of people out there who possibly fear that the jabs that we got weren't like full strength stuff, and it's still a population control. It's the government showing that they are doing something, but not to the full on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot.
There's a lot to unpack.
But we get a Lois moment because she reveals.
Yeah.
She
Herself.
was a badass.
Badass.
Yeah.
But what was really cute though is she fucking raised her hand first.
She was so timid about it.
And then she was like, "Yeah, no, fuck it, I'm standing up." Yeah.
Because no one's paying attention.
No
to
one
her. The
cares.
court's adjourning
Bridget,
and-
as soon as she stands up, she's like, "Sit the fuck down."
Lois,
Sit the fuck-
stop.
Sit the
What
fuck down.
You doing?
I know you're fucking John, but yeah, she announces that she's been wearing the contact lenses.
She doesn't quite, does she? She just says,
Well, no,
they've
she
been
doesn't-
recording. She doesn't
Yeah,
put
she
herself in
doesn't
the
say-
shit straight away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she doesn't say that, but Torchwood's
Yeah.
been recording this
Yeah.
every single moment. They intend to release it to the public unless you do allow Jack
Allow Jack to have a
in
go.
and to deal with the 456.
Yeah.
Which I have notes about. But,
Oh, okay. Are we there yet, or are we getting to that?
what was his plan? To go in there with pistols and say, "Yeah, we'll fuck
Yeah,
you
but
up."
everything else got blown up.
Exactly. So what is his threat? How is he saying we can take you all out? With what?
But he doesn't. They don't know that all his shit's gone.
But he's gone in to say exactly the same thing that the government have said.
Yeah.
Surely, though,
with
the
no
456 has
backing
scanned
up.
the planet. It's like, this was a weird explosion in Cardiff. It seems odd. Why did that happen?
I just feel like it was a wonderful big gesture, but with nothing behind it.
It feels like Lois's sacrifice in this moment is a bit
It's
in vain
completely
Yeah.
wasted.
because it's just the two of them going.
They've
in.
just gone in with guns and nothing.
The greatest
no
accomplishment here is Yanto on the phone when he's like saying to his sister,
Yeah.
"Don't let
Do
anyone
not trust
take-"
this. This
but
is not
also
correct.
anyone listening over the wire, like,
Yeah.
Get your
forget
kids safe. Yeah,
this is a
he's
Secret Act.
Yeah.
yeah,
Keep them safe.
he's forgetting about sides and who's trying to kill him.
Yeah,
He's just trying to
just
help
trying to
everybody.
appeal to
Please
everyone's better nature.
Save
in
your
this.
children.
But
yeah.
Jack's gone
Yeah.
in and said, "We will fight to the death," which is stupid because there's no way the human race could fight an alien
Yeah.
with just like fucking knives and guns and pitchforks and
yeah,
shit.
He can fight to the death because he ain't gonna die. But no one else can.
Also, the only people that are going to go fighting are the adults. Once they're all dead, the kids are ready to take anyway.
Yeah.
I just feel like it was such a shame. I don't know how they could have fixed it, but there was such a massive oomph.
Yeah.
And then, like, actually, there's nothing behind this.
They
This
just
is a
needed
completely
they
empty
needed a
threat.
proper plan.
It's kind of like-
before they went in.
Yeah.
It's Deadpool 1 where he rocks up without his bag.
Exactly. He's forgotten his Hello Kitty backpack, and there was just nothing there. And I was like, "Oh no!" I just think it makes what happened so much worse
Yeah.
because there was nothing substantial
I've
behind
never
this.
thought about it that way, but you are absolutely right.
I was devastated. I was
Yeah.
like, there's nothing here.
They didn't
You
need to be
cannot
there
win.
at that point.
No,
They needed to get a better plan.
They had
and work
nothing to
things
win.
out. Yeah.
No. So,
sorry.
no, you are absolutely
So
right. I'm
right.
very glad you brought up
You're
that
so
point.
right.
So, yeah, so Lois...
Yeah, I did hop, skip, and jump a bit.
No, you're fine. No, it's all kind of happening at the same time, isn't it? So, they're making their way to Thames House. Lois is revealing
Yeah.
all the stuff that's been going on. I think this is where Auntie-Terrorist
Rocks
turns up.
At Clem and
Yeah.
I was going to call her Evie. That's
Can I
the
just-
actress's name.
I love that there's certain characters that we're like, no, I'm going to Google what their name is. But there are others we're like, no, we've got a punchable guy.
Her name's Anna. Auntie-terrorist is Anna.
I just think it's so great that there are certain, like, we're just not going to bother
Yeah,
with
but
that.
Andy made that weird comment, so I feel like we should hover around that for a bit longer.
Sorry, carry on.
So, so they rock up. They put their guns down on the desk. They're not even concealing their weapons.
No, yeah. They're just like, yeah.
I suppose because they want to get in there as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is I'm going
With a
off
lot
note.
of faith that she's actually done what she said she was going to do. Because
Yeah.
there's a chance that she never stood up.
Yeah.
And they've just wandered in,
Yeah.
guns down,
Yeah.
we're
Shot
Torchwood.
immediately.
Yeah.
But fortunately, they are let through for whatever. Well, I suppose because of what Lois is doing.
Yeah.
And they rendezvous with Mr. Decker, who takes them through to the tank room.
Doesn't he say something horrible like best not keep it waiting?
No,
is that later?
That's later.
Oh, okay.
That's later. Because no one's really conversing with each other at this point.
Oh yeah, we're just
Um,
smashing through, aren't we?
Yeah. Okay. I feel like we need to take our because we're getting to the point.
Oh,
We are
God.
getting to the point now, Pete.
Oh,
No, Pete.
God.
No, Alex.
I cannot thank you enough for all. Sorry, this sounds really sinister.
You're about to kill me.
It's time for you to go.
You're about to kill me.
No. So, all that you've done for this podcast, because the podcast wouldn't exist without you at all.
That's a lie.
No, it wouldn't. No, it genuinely wouldn't exist without you.
Your face.
So I, to soften the moment of what we're about to go into with Torchwood, I have made you a gift,
Oh, shut
and
up.
it's also kind of Christmassy.
As a gift.
For your faith. I present to you, handmade, the second Fourth Doctor scarf.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna fucking cry. Shut him out. Oh my god, that's so cool. Dude, thank you so much.
That is quite all right. Seriously though, this podcast would not exist without you.
Yes, it would.
You've given me a wonderful outlet to be able to talk about this
I
grubby
fucking
little
love it.
show about
Christmas
let's face it, Cardiff. and the various places Cardiff pretends to be.
Look at it.
Yeah.
You can't look at it, people.
No, because this is a visual medium
Oh my
or
God.
audio medium.
It's lovely though.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
that's all right.
You're gonna use it to hide your cries. In a minute.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Sorry, Donna, I don't have one for you.
Thank you so much.
You did make me one.
I did, yes. So they walk in, and they're saying like, I know what we did in the past, but you are not taking the 10%, the deal's off. And the 4, 5, 6 pretty much repeat multiple times. You yielded in the past. You will do
gonna
so
do it
again. And they now, I was about to say they raise an interesting point. It's not, because there's no way for them to justify what they're proposing as an idea. But they do raise the point of the mortality rate of infants is so many thousand, and one dies every 3 seconds, and the human instinct is to adapt and to continue.
Yeah.
Which is, I suppose, it's a very loosey-goosey argument for,
You're going to lose them anyway.
give us a
It's a
10%,
horrible
you know.
statistic when you think
Oh
about
yeah, it's
3.
horrific to hear in the context
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
Numbers.
It's probably worse now.
of. Oh yeah, well, with the increased population.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah, the fact that they're justifying that, like, you know, you lose this many kids anyway. What's the problem?
But the difference is that is through, for the most part, hopefully, no lack of attempting to preserve the life of these infants, as opposed to willing them giving them up in the moment.
Yeah.
There's a lot more at play then than just they die so they can die here, as opposed to, well, not die, but they can go through the shit here as opposed to over there. And more to your point, Pete, we do get both Jack and Yanto firing their fucking pistols at.
Are they stupid? Like, do they not think that this
We've seen
alien
this
thing
thing
would...
headbutt the shit out of this glass multiple times. Do you not think it could shrug off a few pistol bullets?
and given, like, insane instructions.
Yeah.
How are they not going to think, oh, let's make this bulletproof?
Maybe shoot the pipe that's leading all of its
yeah.
shit to it, or something.
Even, you know, just use your fucking common sense and shoot where the glass is attached to the metal. That's the weakest point.
But no, they just shoot at the big old pane of glass.
I'm done.
And
Laughing on this show.
that's what we want.
Yeah, boy.
But it's getting sad now because
I'm trying to prolong it.
Jack wonders what the answer of the 456 will be now that they've said, no, you're not having the kids, and the 456 says action has been taken, a virus has been released
Into the building.
and he has we don't know, but it has released a toxic gas into Thames House.
Do we establish how it's had the opportunity to do that?
It
No,
doesn't tell us at any point.
It doesn't explain how it's managed to be able to get hold of the systems.
no,
just-
and we don't. Well, I suppose it's just part of what it breathes, because we know that whatever it's in is poison to us.
Is that what it's leaking out?
We assume. So we assume that this is some loosey-goosey bullshit. It's like plugging in an official computer into an extension cord that has 1,000 other things plugged into it. They've just plumbed this into the thing that goes to all the fucking vents in
It's weird, isn't
Thames House.
Yeah, that was my thing, was how have they done that? It's in a tank.
Yeah.
How has it managed to
But
do
then, you know, does it speak to what we were chatting about, is actually, do they have a lot more tech than we think they do?
And I suppose some of the stuff, I can't remember all the chemical compounds that go into the gas, but there's possibility that some of this is what would be in ventilation systems and stuff. So them extracting it probably doesn't take that much effort just to reverse it and push it back through.
Push it back out, yeah.
Through those vents.
Either way, awful. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I don't really, it sounds awful. I don't really care for the adults in the building, but it's fucking sad.
it is very sad. And the way that it's
The
filmed.
the visual of them.
Of them
trying
all
to
against
get
the
out
glass, it's awful.
You see some of them running, some of them are already
on the
collapsing.
floor. Sneaky, creepy little shit. Goes to his office.
Yes,
Yes,
let's talk
he
about Mr. Dackett, who
does.
has prepared for this shit. He has.
But also, has he held his breath this whole time to get there? Or has he breathed something
We don't
and should be
know
dead
how
anyway?
we don't know how quick this gas is at taking effect.
Yeah.
So it's possible. I mean, you could probably hold your breath for that.
I don't know, yeah.
Because he only runs down the hall from the room.
He scuttles, really, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think if you know your life is on the line, you can probably
Hold your breath
a lot
pretty
longer
fast.
than
Yeah.
you would
Pretty
be able
fast.
to normally.
Pretty far. But yeah, scuttles off. Obviously, he's only got one, but he doesn't even... He's horrible. He doesn't even consider offering it to somebody else.
No.
It's
Like the
awful,
one
man.
person that we would all want to have it.
Stop.
Or
What-
end of episode.
Has-
End. Start.
Do they both happen at the same time?
Do both. What? Oh, are you talking about Clem?
Yeah.
Yes, because as he's released, as
He
the
then
4x6
says
is
something
releasing
like,
gas,
and the remnant will be
discontinued.
disconnected.
Yeah, and we do get a bit of the actor who played Clem's, at least in my opinion, best acting.
It's fucking horrible.
Oh yeah, it's horrific.
It's awful. Because they've released that sonar, haven't they?
Yeah,
and you
the
can hear it,
noise.
and it's hurting him, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse. She just
Yeah.
holds him while he's bleeding from every fucking orifice in his face, and
Yeah.
it's awful.
You just can't even imagine having to go through something like that from her point of view. I mean, obviously his is a lot worse, but for her, that
Yeah.
is traumatic, isn't it?
It's awful. She's by herself. She's
Yeah.
surrounded by people with guns that wanted to kill her
Yeah.
2 days ago. None of her friends are there.
No.
And she's going through this poor fucker. She doesn't even know this kid. He's not a kid.
Well,
Doesn't
he's in
even
his
know
mind,
this
though, isn't
guy. He is still a kid.
he? Yeah.
I'm sad about it now.
Yeah.
It's a fair old thing to be sad about. To be fair. So, like Clem's just writhing around. He's got blood coming out of his ears.
Down his nose, out his mouth.
Yeah.
And it just kind of stops
Yeah.
screaming.
Because I think you hear almost like a life support machine kind of, and that's
Yeah.
where the cut off is.
Yeah.
And we got to tackle it. We got to do it.
Yanto dies at the end. That's as much emotional trauma as I can put through it right now.
But Pete, I have notes.
Of course you have notes.
The 456 saying you are dying even now, and we get Yanto kind of like
Realise
space over. We get his initial
Jack was
collapse.
saying that you can still live. You go now, go now.
Yeah.
It's too late. I breathed the
Yeah,
air.
yeah.
The way he
Um,
says that, the way he delivers that line, it's too late, I've breathed the air. That's just like devastating.
Because he knows that's it. He's done.
And he's trying to comprehend all of that in like 2 seconds.
Now I'm gonna add. Sorry, I've said that with so much relish, and I probably
I'm
shouldn't.
going to add this bit.
I'm gonna add this bit. Do we think this is the first time Yanto's told Jack that he loves him?
Yes.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Because
The way that
The
Jack's
way
just
he,
like
Jack-
the
don't.
way he
Looked.
cries,
yeah,
as he says it.
Yeah.
And because he said it before as well, hasn't he? It's all new to him. This
yeah.
isn't something, and I don't think he's the kind of bloke who says his emotions very often. Like, 'cause I think that's the first time we hear him tell his sister that he loves him, or
Yeah.
that he loves his niece and nephew.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know about you guys, family, but like I'll tell him every 2 seconds, "Love you." Like
I'm
even
the
if
same.
I've just popped over to like drop off
Yeah.
biscuits or whatever, as I leave, I'm like, "Love you, bye."
Yeah.
I'm the same.
He went to their house multiple times that we've seen, and he's met up with them multiple times. He doesn't say it. Even when she's just risked everything to get him that laptop, he doesn't say it.
Yeah.
And he said it to her in this episode only. And I think I don't think he says it very often. So I think it's the first time he's told him. We make it worse, right? Makes it worse.
But what does Jack say though?
Don't.
Yeah, don't, please
or you
don't.
shouldn't.
He just says
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
which I hate him for.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if he doesn't quite love him in the same way. He
No.
should just send it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
This man is
knows he's
dying in his
just
arms.
Give him what he needs in that moment.
Because he's crying. Oh, God. And then he says, "You won't remember me.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 1,000
In
years'
1,000
time.
You won't remember me." And he's crying. And then Jack
But
does
Jack
come through and
yeah,
says, "Yes, I
does say,
will."
always remember. Yeah. I was a mess. I think the neighbours could hear me crying when I was watching this one.
Oh, it's just bright. Oh. And then he dies. They both die.
Yeah. And
After the weirdest kiss that's ever happened ever.
is it weird?
I think it's weird.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit weird. I know that he's dying and running out of breath at this point, but I just think it could have been done better.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
But we do get a bit more dialogue if the heartbreak wasn't enough from Jack. Don't go.
Oh,
Don't leave me.
stop it! Because I didn't think for the majority of this time that he really loved him as much as maybe Yanto did.
No.
But then saying that, I don't know, maybe he did.
I thought it was all a bit of fun for Jack, but then it.
The way he's saying
Yeah,
this, I was
it
like,
does.
oh, actually, shit, maybe he does.
Yeah. And I do love that this series gives us time to kind of process
Feel
all
it.
of this, because it's just silence, and we've got silence in the Thames House Observatory room. We've got silence with the 456 just on looking all of this
Yeah.
as both of them collapse. And I think then we pretty much cut to Gwen
A room
coming
full of
in.
bodies.
Yeah.
Covered in red fabric.
There's some covered in white, but the majority of them are in red.
Red fabric, which is strange. But we don't need to worry about that.
It seems
Why
odd.
that much stuff on hand.
Yeah.
It seems odd.
Random, very perfectly cut bits of fabric. And also, I don't know, it sounds awful. One of the bodies looks incredibly small.
Ugh.
Oh really? Oh, I didn't notice that.
One of them looks very small. And I'm not sure if this is like a child or something, but it was a very small person.
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay. But they didn't linger on it, so I'm assuming it's not a child. It might have just been a sort of person. But I was like, oh shit, I don't want to think about that.
No.
But it seems odd that they put Jack in this room at all, because they know about him.
Where else are you going to put him?
Well, maybe the people that got him out of the
Just in
room
the cupboard.
don't know about him. Maybe it was just general.
Just acting on orders, get everybody in the room.
General soldiers. Just get everyone out.
Now, obviously, the scene as it plays out has to play out like it does, because otherwise it would break the emotion of the moment. But Jack has a very selective way of coming back in this moment, because instead of his, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
yeah.
But have we seen him suffocate yet and come back?
I suppose not. Well,
suppose he's not got any
we've seen him
physical-
suffocate, but we've never seen him come back immediately from that.
we've not
so-
seen any. He's not got any physical trauma that has mended.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
just a restart, so maybe it isn't as jarring.
Yeah,
I'm just
fair.
making excuses.
No, that's fair.
That does actually make a
It makes a bit of sense.
It does make a bit.
Because he has that little gasp, and then when he sits up, he does have another gasp as well, rather than just that big like.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know. But it's when she pulls the sheet down over Yanto's face and fixes his tie.
But the way before that, the way that Gwen looks at Jack, it's almost like just he's asleep, because
Yeah.
she's
She
so
just smiles
detached
It's like
at
a little
from.
half
yeah.
smiles, doesn't she?
Yeah.
It's like he'll be back in a sec.
Yeah.
But
And if you look at him, he's sort of skin
He's a normal
coloured
colour.
still. He's like normal
Yeah,
colour.
Yanto's dead colour.
Grey.
Yeah.
and the way that she can't even look at Jack, but the way he kind of comes over her shoulder and hugs her, and they both exchange tears.
Yeah, and then she says, "We can't. There's nothing we can do."
Yeah.
It's like, oh god.
It shows how well an actor has portrayed a character that there is still a shrine.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
I don't know of any other fictional character that has a shrine.
No. And people still go and visit this shrine.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about that, because all of here present have.
We've all been.
there.
We've all been to the
We've all
shrine.
been to the shrine.
We've all been. I bet the fucking BBC were like, well, we can't fucking reinvent Torchwood there now, can we? We can't pretend they rebuilt it on the bay because we have to take all this shit down.
There's the shrine.
Yeah, but they could have just used a different entrance. Like,
Yeah.
the most
Yeah.
iconic entrance is the one by the water tower. You
Yeah,
don't have
true.
to use the.
They could have incorporated that shrine, couldn't they?
No, can you imagine her walking
But, yeah,
past
there
that
is-
shrine every day?
There's not another character
I can't think of another character.
ever
No.
Nope.
in any series or anything.
But I suppose out of all the Torchwood team, Yanto's the one who's the least morally grey. Because the only thing that he ever did that was a bit fucked, he did out of love, being Lisa the Cyberman.
Oh, yeah.
Everything else, he's
a good boy.
Yeah, he's a good boy. As far as I don't quote me on that. I'm going through all the episodes in my head like super light speed, being like, does he say or do something that's a bit fucked?
I think he's a good boy.
I think he might just be a good boy.
Yeah. And he's just got. I know it's just the actor's face, but he's just got such a puppy dog face.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful boy.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking.
He just connected, didn't he? Connected with people.
Everyone loved him.
Yeah.
I do hope that we cover season 2 at some point of Torchwood, because Yanto goes weirdly sarcastic in season 2. He gets very outspoken.
He does a little bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's again the episode that we were talking about 2 or 3 episodes ago, the one with the sleeper agents, where they take down all the phone networks. And he's like, "Cup spits a string, no, because the phones aren't working."
He'd had enough at that point. It was like, fuck.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure that was the episode before or after when they were using the singularity scalpel or attempting to use it, and he's there walking with something on a tray and it gets blown up, and just the look on his face like, fuck you. And that is where, if I'm not mistaken, the episode closes.
Yeah. We did it.
We did it.
Got through it.
Yeah.
But we've still got more to go.
We've still got more to go. Thank you for. I hope that you'll, one more sleep till Christmas. You've got your
playing the outro.
Stockings on the fire.
After all, there's only one more sleep till Christmas Day. Bit of Kermit for you, everybody.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do.
There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Just say bye-bye.
Yeah, we have a Twitter. Aren't we great? Come share our shit if you would. You can find us on Facebook, Spotify, YouTube. Share our stuff, because we have thoughts and we would like to share them. And we'd love to build a wee community with you lovely people. And until the next time, we are very depressingly possibly flying off either into the sun or into time and space.
We're skulking off.